Hi, I'm Niall from GulfStream Boat Sales. Today we're taking a look around a Sea Ray 335 Sundancer. It's a 33-foot sports cruiser. It's fitted with a pair of Volvo KAD300 Diesel Sterndrive engines. It's packed to the gunnels with gear and equipment. It's a really top spec boat. It has a diesel generator on board. It's got air conditioning, reverse cycle heating. It has a Raymarine chart plotter radar system, VHF radio. It has a bow thruster. It's got a large cabin with 5 berths in there and a nice spacious cockpit as well. The boat was built in 2005. It has only 220 hours on the engines and it's in really nice condition throughout. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a detailed look around the boat. We're going to show you the cockpit, show you around the cabin. We're going to run the engines for you. We're going to put the boat through its paces in the water just to give you a better idea of the sort of accommodation you have on board and the condition that this one's in, and hopefully help you decide whether this is the right boat for you or not. Taking a look around the exterior of this boat, the gel coat's in very nice condition. We've just given it a compound and polish, so we've sort of brought it back up to like her original shine. So we've got a rich navy blue hull, sort of off-white top sides. All the stainless steel work, the rails, the cleats, the handrails and things are all in very good condition. All the graphics, the model name, the Sea Ray badges, the little pinstripes up along the side are all in perfect condition as well. And yeah, the foredeck as well. We got a nice broad foredeck on this boat because it's got that 10-foot beam. It also benefits from walk around side deck access on both sides of the boat. So we've got this nice wide side deck with a high rail so you can get up onto the front of the boat safely. We've got foot switches for the anchor windlass up there, and the whole foredeck is molded non-skid fiberglass, so it's safe underfoot as well. So yeah, the condition's very good. The anti-fouling paint probably needs refreshed for this coming season. It was done in May of last year, so it probably needs just freshened up for the coming season. But apart from that, the outside of the boat's in very nice shape. There's no evidence of any damage down along this side. The port side's the same. We had a close look at it as well when we were giving it the polish. The only area of any sort of damage or anything is just on the back corners of the swim platform. So we've got a nice wide swim platform with an integrated boarding ladder as well. So if you're swimming off the boat, that's a folding stainless steel boarding ladder. It gives you easy access on and off the boat. The only damage there is this corner. I think the other corner of the swim platform as well, where there's a very common area where you get a little bit of damage just if you get it wrong coming into the berth. But the benefit of that is, I mean, it's protected the actual hull itself. So the stern corners of the hull, the rub rail, everything's perfect there. Nice big chunky cleats on board. We've got a large locker then in the transom, so this is big enough to swallow up fenders and things. We've also got our shore power connections concealed in behind that with this access hole for running your leads in out of the way, so you don't have a big ugly plug stuck in the back of the boat. We've got a marina water hookup point here. We've also got to pull out the transom shower, a hot and cold transom shower for rinsing yourself off after a swim. The boat has been fitted with snap davits at some stage in the past, so if you want to store a dinghy on the back you can, you just have to slot in the hooks there. And then we've got access through this opening transom gate into the cockpit. The quality of this boat is immediately apparent as soon as you come on board. From the nice deeply upholstered seats, the supple leather, the chunky and top quality stainless steel work, the handrails, the clips and fittings and things. It's a good size. The boat is 10 foot 6 inches wide or 10 foot 5 inches wide, so you get a nice wide cockpit here as well. You've got a huge seating area here taking up the aft end of it, so really wide bench in the back that's easily going to accommodate 4 adults. Another sort of triple wide seat here facing that around this little cockpit table. What you can do as well, if you check the photographs, this table can be dropped down. There's another filler piece goes in there and a couple of cushions, so you can make this up into like a huge sun pad as well for sunnier days. Or alternatively, it could be like an extra berth, a double berth, whenever you put up the camper covers, if you've got a lot of people staying on board. It's all single level cockpit here. Everything's molded non-skid. There's snap-in carpets there, easy to clean. You just pop them out and power wash them. You can hose the deck down underneath. We've got integrated molded steps on the port and starboard side for getting access up onto the side decks, with conveniently placed handrails on the radar arch here. There's integrated radar arch, and then you've got those high deck rails as well, so you've got safe passage up onto the front of the boat on both sides. So yeah, the condition of everything back here is fantastic. The upholstery is all perfect. There's no marks or tears or anything in it. The gel coat all looks really good, and all the catches and fittings and things are all in really good shape as well. So yeah, looks the part, and all the Sea Ray detailing and stuff, it really does. It's a fantastic sociable cockpit layout here. Coming further forward then, we've got a wide companionway, so it's, you know, good wide access up to the front of the boat here. We've got this moulded in wet bar on the port side, so we've got a pressurised faucet with cold water here. We've got storage then and underneath this. Also we've got access into our battery isolator switches and things, and main sort of 12-volt switch panels. Again, everything's in really good shape. All the hinges, the catches, the handrail are all in perfect condition. We've got these little stainless steel cup holders, a little sort of chart table area here as well. And then we've got this huge twin wide helm seat, which realistically you could probably even get 3 people on up here, and a really commanding helm position as well. The boat comes complete with a tonneau cover, which you'll see in the pictures, and also a full set of camper covers. So the tonneau is great if it's better, you know, in the middle of the summer, good weather, you just want to cover up the boat at the end of the day, you can just pull the tonneau cover on. The camper covers are good if you're going to be staying on board, or you're out and it's, you know, not as nice. You can put those camper covers up, fully encloses the whole boat, and means you can maintain, you know, use all this as living space during the bad weather. So we've left up the flat bimini top. You can leave this bimini open and set up like this, and the tonneau cover still goes around that. So this is a really, you know, great sunshade, and just gives it a bit of a cozier feel in here. The radar arch, which has the radome and stuff on top, and the antennas, also has a couple of overhead arch lights as well. So after dark you've got nice lighting in here. There's also a number of little low level cockpit LED lights dotted around as well, just to give a soft glow at night time. The helm position on the boat is very commanding. You're sitting on an elevated position, so you've got clear visibility over the tops of your passengers' heads out the back. You've also got clear visibility through the screen, either from the sitting position, and similarly if you want to flip up the bolster, both these seats have flip up bolsters. Gives you good visibility over the top of the screen as well. And it's, you know, you can stand at the helm if you're coming in to berth the boat and that. In terms of the actual helm layout itself, it looks the part. It's got this wood grain effect trim. We've got these chrome bezeled Sea Ray gauges. Everything's in perfect working order here. We've also got all these soft touch Sea Ray switches, so it's not like your usual, you know, toggle switches you get in the vast majority of these American boats. These are proprietary Sea Ray systems. They're soft touch, they're linked up to individual relays with their individual circuit breakers and stuff. It's all really top quality stuff. We've got our trim tab controls here, controls for our bilge pumps, engine room blowers, our engine hatch lift on this side. Over here we've got all our navigation lights, cockpit lights, our horn, windscreen wipers, anchor windlass as well. This boat's fitted with an anchor windlass, and also the power vent controls as well. In terms then of the additional equipment we've got a Raymarine C70 chart plotter. I think it's got a fish finder module. It's also got radar integrated into it as well. We've got that Raymarine radome up on top, so really good coastal cruising spec, this boat. We've got a Raymarine speed and depth log. We've also got a Raymarine Ray 215 DSC VHF radio as well. The engines that are installed in this boat are a pair of Volvo KAD300, so they make 285 horsepower each, and they've got this EDC Volvo control system, so they're electronic control. We've got fly-by-wire throttles on this boat, and all the benefits come with that. There's much more monitoring of the engine systems, a lot of safety features built in, and, you know, safe get home safe functionality and that type of thing. We've got our trim tab controls here on the left hand side of the steering wheel. We've got our engine indicators with our warning systems for both port and starboard engine mounted just above that as well. And then we've got this Sea Ray wood and leather rimmed steering wheel as well, which has a 5-position tilt on it also. In addition to that, then we've got a remote control for the Clarion marine stereo that lives down in the cabin as well. So it really has everything you could need in terms of equipment. This boat, like I said, if you're using it as a coastal cruiser, or even if you're using it on the inland waterways, there's bags of gear on it. It's all in really good shape. And one of the real benefits of this boat is, while it's that next step up from an entry-level sports cruiser or even a smaller sports cutty, it still does have like true sports boat performance. These engines, they make 285 horsepower. We've had the boat out in the water, and you'll have a look for yourself now. After we're going to show you the engine start, and we're going to show you how the boat runs in the water. But it goes really good. It jumps up on the plane in no time at all. At maximum RPM, the boat will make about 30. We were out in fairly choppy conditions there, and it's I was seeing 37 knots on the GPS. So that's really, that's a quick boat. It heels over into the turns like a sports boat. It's a really involving drive. If you want that wind in your hair experience, this boat's still going to deliver that, as well as giving you all the cruising benefits that it has from the big cabin and all the berths and things. So that's really why you want to buy a sports boat. You don't want to go for the full-blown flybridge or enclosed wheelhouse boat. You still want the sort of get the thrill of an open boat, and this one delivers it in spades. It's got a really deep V as well on the hull, so in terms of the handling ability and the rough weather ability, it goes really well. It cuts through chop well, and smooths out, so you get a nice comfortable ride for your passengers. One other thing to point out is the side power bow thruster that's installed in this boat, which really comes into its own whenever you're berthing the boat, particularly in windier conditions. It can be a bit tricky, and a bow thruster is nearly essential in a boat of this size in this part of the world. So yeah, condition wise, everything's in really good shape, everything's working well. The boat's only got just around 220 hours on the clock, so the port engine has run 218.3 hours, starboard engine showing 225.4. I mean, that's barely running. It's very small hours. The reason that the owner's selling this boat is because he just hasn't had the time to use it in the last couple of seasons. No, it's been maintained, it's been looked after. The engines have just been serviced, and the boat's been cleaned up, presented for sale. But yeah, he hasn't had the time to use it, and those hour clocks tell that story. So there's loads of life left in this boat. It's a nice and fresh example, and goes really good. So we'll have a look at the engines running now, and then you can see how the boat performs on the water for yourself. So the engine access on the boat is via this large hydraulic lifting hatch. So you don't have to move any seats or anything out of the way. You just press the button on the dash, and this gives really good access in around this pair of Volvo KAD300 Sterndrive engines. So these engines make 285 horsepower each. They give the boat a really good turn of speed. They're very reliable power plants, and economical as well. And as you can tell, they're nice. They're in pretty good condition in here. There's very little evidence of any corrosion or anything in here. The bilges are in pretty good shape. We've also got a little collar 5 kilowatt generator there as well, and then we've got a big battery bank. We've got 4 120 amp hour batteries in there. There are the engineering installation, being a Sea Ray, this boat is very well put together, and the quality of the engineering in here is very good, and it's all the proper sort of stuff. So we've got SEPAR fuel water filters, or water separating fuel filters, one for each engine and one for the generator. We've got stainless steel tanks down the other side, fuel tanks. We've got this plastic vacuum pump and waste tank assembly over here on the port side. And we've got pretty good service access in here as well. So the engines have just been serviced. They've had the oils and filters changed, oil filter, fuel filter. We've run them. They're starting really good, they're running really good. The boat is performing very well. So we'll start these engines up now so you can hear them for yourselves. And then we're going to put the boat through her paces in the water as well. access into the cabin is through this moulded sliding door, which is running really freely on the rails, and it's got a nice stainless steel handrail on it as well. So got 3 steps down into the cabin. We'll go downstairs and take a good look around there now. Being an American boat, it's a nice spacious open plan cabin, so it's it can all open up into one during the daytime, so you get a really spacious, airy feeling. It's a really nice place to spend time, and then at night time you can sort of separate off the different bedroom areas with these privacy curtains and things. But this is an ideal family boat, you know, with an adult, a few kids, everybody can, you know, pile in together and you know, share the space. Because it's a Sea Ray as well, it's really nicely appointed down here. All the materials, the fixtures, the fittings are top quality. They're all in excellent condition as well, and there's loads of really clever design touches that you get on these higher end boats. But in terms of the layout, we come down, the access is down these 3 moulded in steps here. Then you come on to a nice wide companionway. If you've got the table out of the way, there's bags of floor space and stuff down here for moving around. We've got this starboard side dinette seating arrangement on this side of the cabin. Facing that, then we've got our heads compartment, large heads compartment, just on the left hand side of the steps, and then we've got a nice big galley as well. Again, this is the sort of boat you're going to want to spend extended periods of time on, you know, maybe a week or 2 weeks. It's important you've got good cooking facilities, and this boat doesn't disappoint. But we'll take a close look around the galley in just a minute. But then ahead of that, we've got a fixed double berth up in the forepeak of the bow, and then we've got a nice private little aft cabin, lounge area, and underneath the entrance steps there as well. So we'll take a really close look around here now. So the galley itself boasts lots of countertop space for preparing food and things, and also bags of storage as well. In terms of the equipment that we've got down here, we have a twin burner electric hob. So because this boat is fitted with that generator, it means that you've always got 240 volt power, so you can always run your electric hob and also your microwave as well. It's another piece of 240 volt equipment. All the countertop is solid corian. You know, it's really heavy, durable stuff. We've got a countertop cover over this sink as well. The sink's really big, proper usable sink with hot and cold running water there as well. As I said, we've got this microwave oven above the counter, and then we've got this dual voltage refrigerator down below us as well. And we've also got a power ventilation system as well, so if you're cooking down here, a common problem is a build-up of sort of cooking smell, and it can be difficult to get that out of the boat. Sea Ray have thought of that, and they fitted this power ventilation system as well, along with these opening deck lights and stuff too. So if you are cooking downstairs, you can keep the cabin smelling nice and fresh. This boat is fitted with onboard air conditioning and reverse cycle heating. Because you've got a generator on the boat, it means you can run that system wherever you are as well. It needs 240 volt power to work, but you can fire up the generator and you've got air conditioning and heating. This little control panel controls it here, and it's fairly self-explanatory. You know, you've got you can have it on cooling or heating, so if you want to put it on cooling, you can set your set point temperature. This is your heat function. You can adjust your temperature up or down to suit, and it's a really convenient system. It's great if you're thinking about taking the boat to the Med. It's a really excellent thing to have on board. And similarly, if you're using the boat around the UK, northern climes, UK and Ireland, it's good to have that reverse cycle heating. It does heat the boat up very nicely, and means you can extend your season through the autumn. With the dinette table removed here, this sofa slides out and makes up like a large single bed. You might be able to get a couple of kids on it, but it's a good large single anyway. Just it means that you've got an extra berth down here. So along with the 2 in the front, the 2 in the back, this gives you a proper fifth berth. And if it's, like I said, if you have 2 small kids or something, they could get on there no problem as well. In terms of storage and stuff, the cabin has loads of storage gear, or storage room for your gear. We've got these high level cabinets above the dinette sofa. We've got a couple of drawers there just below the cupboard for controlling all your electrical equipment. So you've got all your 12 volt and 240 volt switch panels in there. We've also got this Clarion CD player with a 6-disc changer. controls for starting the generator and things like that are down there as well. So we've got more storage below that. We've got storage in the aft cabin. We've got storage underneath this the sofa here. These little cabinets. Along with all the galley storage, there's more than enough cubby holes dotted around the cabin to get all your gear in out of the way, so you can keep your living space nice and clear. So we've got this fixed double berth up at the front of the cabin. This aft cabin area is a great addition to the boat, particularly on these American boats with this open plan layout. This makes sort of maximum use of the space. So during the day you can remove the filler cushions. You've just got a nice U-shaped seating area with proper sitting headroom. The floor's slightly lower in here as well, to just increase the headroom. That's great, you know, you're sitting having a conversation with people on board or whatever. Again, it's another great place for the kids to escape to. And then at night time you can make up the filler cushion. It's a large double, we'll show you that in just a minute, and you can separate it off with these privacy curtains as well, to give you a bit of extra privacy at night time. Now a couple of things to point out, some of these clever sort of design touches we've got. First of all, the filler cushions for in here are all stowed. They're made up as part of the seat backrest, so they're not, during the day, they're not kicking around, they're not in your way, they just, you know, slide in there and make up part of these backrests. We've got plenty of storage in here as well. We've got these, got a cupboard at the head of the bed. We've got these overhead reading lights and stuff as well, and we have this little sort of secret cubby hole as well, which is perfect for stowing valuables. So you pull out that filler cushion from here, and the backrest hinges down to reveal a nice, it's a good large cubby hole in there. So we've got the camper covers in there as well, so it's big enough to carry that sort of thing. But likewise, if you had valuables on board, just if you know, if you're leaving your boat in the marina, or if you're on a public jetty or something, just to have that added security, you can always lock the cabin door, but you might want to keep your valuables things in there out of the way. You know, people wouldn't, with that in place and the filler cushion in there, you would never really know that there's storage behind that. Took me a while to figure out. So yeah, again, the condition of everything in here is perfect. All the seat upholstery is totally on mark. No tears, no rips, nothing at all. Carpet and everything, the headline is really good. All the lights and catches, everything's working as it should. And again, it's just it's more evidence of the quality that sort of really stands out on these Sea Ray boats. With the filler cushions in place, this becomes a good sized double bed. It's quite a wide double. Because this boat is a bit more of a sort of liverboard cruiser that you can spend extended periods of time on, it's important that you have a good heads compartment. And it doesn't disappoint. There's a really well appointed heads compartment. It's got that opening port light there, it's overhead lights. There's also a power ventilation system in here as well, so you can ventilate the head without having to open the deck light there. We've got a vacuum flush toilet down in the corner there. The whole compartment's obviously lined and drained. We've got hot and cold running water there. That tap is also removable, and you can mount it on the bracket up above, so it becomes your shower head as well. We've got soap dispensers there. We've got little storage compartments. We've got another little cupboard there at the back. We've also got storage underneath the sink unit. We've got controls for the ventilator and the light switch there as well. And it's a foot pedal on the toilet, so it's easy to operate the toilet flush. There's stainless steel handrails and things in here. Nice little vanity mirror, and yeah, so it's a really good size. There's loads of elbow room in there. If you were to, for showering on board and things, it's a good size to use. We've also got a shower curtain there to keep the water off the door as well. The condition of the interior and the cabin of this boat is pristine, really is top notch. The only thing that lets it down ever so slightly are the carpets. I would probably recommend having these like professionally valeted just to bring them back up. They're just a very tiny bit grubby. But apart from that, everything else is all here. It all works as it should. There's no chips or marks in any of the joinery. All the upholstery is in very good condition. All the catches and cabinets and little bits and pieces, they're all working really well. The boat only has 220 hours on the clock. I would hazard a guess that it has very rarely been slept on. I know the current owner probably has never slept on the boat because he has an apartment overlooking the marina, so he's never really used the cabin very much. So if you know, it's perfect if you're looking to have a boat that hasn't been worn out or overly used. This is a great one to consider. So there you have it. The boat is a 2005 Sea Ray 335 Sundancer. It's just over 10 meters long. It's over 3 meters wide. There's tons of accommodation. It's a full sort of 6-berth cruiser. You've also got the option of another sort of double bed up in the sun pad, out in the cockpit there. And yeah, the boat's in fantastic condition. It's only run 220 hours. It's in really nice shape. There's bags of life left in it, and it's packed to the gunnels with gear and equipment. It has the onboard generator, the diesel generator, giving you 240 volt power, so you've got all your cooking facilities and things, even whenever you're away from the marina. You've also got air conditioning with the reverse cycle heating. You've got the Raymarine Electronics suite. There's a side power bow thruster installed. It just has everything you could need in a boat of this size. It's been well looked after. It's just been serviced, it's been compounded and polished, and it's ready to go for the season. This boat would make a great step up for somebody moving from a sports cuddy or a smaller sports cruiser, or even as your first foray into the sports cruiser market. It's a great place to start out. It has a lovely open plan layout, makes it a really good family boat, and it would be ideal as a home away from home, or instead of a holiday home, you could have this sitting in the marina, either in the Med or on some of the inland waterways around the UK and Ireland. It's a great place to come. You can spend the night in comfort downstairs, and then during the day you can go out and get a bit of a thrill from the wind in your hair experience of a sports boat. You can go and swim, have picnics, pull water toys, the whole works. So a really great all-rounder. So yeah, I think she's going to make a great buy for somebody. If you're interested in the boat and you want to find out more, or you'd like to come and have a look at it, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Just send me an email or give me a call, and I'd be delighted to have a chat about the boat. Thank you for watching.